Welcome to the Physics friends, and in today's video we will discuss about one important point, free fall of class 9 chapter 10 gravitation. So let us start the session. Here this point can be understood using these 5 points. First one, what is free fall? Second, acceleration due to gravity. What is the gravitational acceleration? Third, expression of gravitational acceleration for any celestial body. Here we will also mention the expression for the gravitational acceleration for the surface of the earth. Fourth, factors affecting the gravitational acceleration. Here we will discuss what are those factors which can change the value of gravitational acceleration over the surface of earth. 5. Calculation of gravitational acceleration for earth. Here we will find out the value for gravitational acceleration over the surface of the earth. Let us understand each and every point in detail. Let us understand the topic from the first point, what is free fall. So when an object moves toward the surface of the earth due to the gravitational pull force of the earth alone, then the motion of the body is said to be the free fall or freely falling motion. So let us write down the definition of free fall, which tells us that whenever an object moves towards surface of earth due to gravitational pull force of earth alone, then motion of an object is called free fall or freely falling motion. So the definition shows you that whenever the object moves towards surface of the earth, that means that first of all what you have to do, you have to lift up the object over the surface of the earth up to some height. Then if you are leaving that object from that height, the gravitational pull force of earth will attract the object toward the surface of the earth, and due to which the object will move toward the surface of the earth, and this downward motion is called free fall. Now here whenever the object is doing free fall, the object is called freely falling body. Okay, so the object which experiences free fall is called freely falling body. Here it is noted that this freely falling motion or free fall is purely due to the gravitational pull force of an earth and not due to the other forces. So free fall occurs due to pull force of gravitation due to earth. Okay, so the free fall occurs due to the pull force of gravitational force due to the earth. Okay, so whenever there is an object over the surface of the earth, for example object is somewhere here, and you know that according to Newton's law of gravitation, the object is being pulled by the gravitational force of the earth. Earth is always attracting this object toward the surface. So whenever we leave this object from some height, due to the gravitational pull force of the earth, the object will be pulled downward direction, and this motion of the object is called the free fall or freely falling motion. Okay, so there are various examples. For example, you can see that this ball pen is now, if I am leaving from some height, it will always move toward the surface of the earth due to the gravitational pull force of the earth. So here the free fall is the motion of an object under the gravitational pull force of the earth. Okay, let us understand the second point of the topic, acceleration due to gravity. Now we know that the freely falling motion of a body is possible only if the gravitational pull force is applied by the earth over the object. If this force is applied, then and then the freely falling body will be there. Now we know from the Newton's second law of motion, wherever there is a force, there is an acceleration, and for that case Newton has given the equation F is equal to mass time acceleration. So when gravitational pull force of earth acts on object, it will produce acceleration in object. Okay, acceleration in object, and this acceleration is called gravitational acceleration. Okay. So when gravitational pull force of earth acts on an object will do freely falling motion, and this freely falling motion will produce acceleration in an object, and this acceleration produced is called gravitational acceleration. Okay, so the acceleration produced during the free falling motion of an object under the influence of the earth's gravitational pull force is called gravitational acceleration. So as for example, if I am having this earth here, okay, earth is here and object is freely falling, then due to the gravitational force Fg towards the surface of the earth, object will move toward the surface of the earth, and since the F is applied, force is applied, the acceleration will be also there in the downward direction. Okay, so this acceleration is called gravitational acceleration. So what I can say, for freely falling body, the acceleration is equal to the gravitational acceleration g. Okay, so here generally we are talking about the gravitational acceleration over the earth. So this is the gravitational acceleration over the surface of the earth, and it is denoted by GE. So if the body is freely falling over the surface of the earth, then the acceleration is called gravitational acceleration of the earth. Say if body is freely falling over the surface of another celestial body, for example surface of the Mars, surface of the Jupiter, then respectively we can say that this will be the gravitational acceleration over the surface of the Mars, or say gravitational acceleration over the surface of the Jupiter. So similarly, each and every celestial objects like stars, planets, okay, all are having some gravitational force, and whenever the object is taken at some height over the surface, it will be pulled by the celestial bodies, and that will make body freely falling motion. And whenever there is a freely falling motion, there is a gravitational acceleration, and that will be the gravitational acceleration for that particular celestial body. So in this chapter basically we are focusing on the gravitational acceleration of earth. So I will be frequently mentioning the gravitational acceleration of earth, and it is generally denoted by GE. Okay. Now since it is an acceleration, its SI unit is meter per second square. Okay, and since it is an acceleration, again it is a vector quantity. It is a vector quantity. It is a vector quantity. So gravitational acceleration is a vector quantity, and as you can see, the direction of motion is toward the surface of the earth. So the direction of movement is toward the surface of the earth, which can be shown by this arrow, and hence the direction of the gravitational acceleration will be also toward the surface of the earth, or more generally it will be also toward the center of the earth. If C is the center of the earth, then every object over the surface of the earth will try to move toward the center of the earth. So the gravitational acceleration is a vector quantity, and its direction is always toward center of the earth. Okay, acceleration due to gravity is the acceleration which is produced in the freely falling body, and this acceleration is produced due to the gravitational pull force of an earth on the object. It is denoted by GE. GE stands for gravitational acceleration of earth. If someone asks you what is the gravitational acceleration over the Jupiter, then it will be GJ. J is the symbol for Jupiter, E is the symbol for Earth. So here again it is a SI unit. SI unit is meter per second square, and it is a vector quantity. And always, since acceleration is a vector quantity, its direction, gravitational acceleration's direction is always toward the center of the Earth. Okay, so let us understand the third point of the topic is a mathematical expression of GE. Now, in order to derive the mathematical expression of gravitational acceleration of Earth, consider this is the surface of the Earth. Okay, this is the surface of the Earth, and I am not drawing entire Earth, and this is the center of the Earth somewhere here. Now, the object is at some height. Let us say at this height h. Okay, so the distance between the surface of the Earth and the center of the object is h. The distance between the surface and the center of the earth is the RE, that is the radius of the earth. Now, let us assume that let us consider that mass of an object is m, is small m. Okay. Let us consider that mass of an earth is me. Okay. Now, in order to apply the universal law of gravitation, we require the distance between the center of the mass and the center of the earth. So the distance between center of mass or center of object and center of earth, how much this distance will be? The distance will be the h plus re. But generally in day-to-day life, we have seen that this h distance is somewhat distance around few meters. Okay, few meters means as for example, if I am raising this ball pen from the surface of the earth, it may be of 1 or 2 meter. Okay, but if you see the value of the radius of the earth, which is around 6400 kilometer. Okay, whereas this h has a distance around 2 meter or say 3 meter or few tens of meter. So what I can say, in comparison of the radius of the earth, this height at which the object is lifted can be negligible. As you can see, this is 6400 kilometers, wherever the object is lifted up to h height whose value is 2 meter only. So 2 meter can be neglected with respect to 6,400 kilometer. So assume that the object is on the surface of the earth, and that's why, okay, considering height of an object from surface is very less than the radius of the earth. The distance is given by RE. Okay, so here we can treat that the object is not lifted up to h height, but it is just kept over the surface of the earth. And now for this case, let us apply the Newton's law of gravitation. So force F can be given as a G mass of earth is, let us say, me into mass of an object divided by RE whole square. As we know that distance is equal to RE square. Now take this as equation number 1. We know that from the Newton's second law of motion, the force can also be written as mass time acceleration. Okay, force can also be written as a mass time acceleration. But we know that for a freely falling body, acceleration is equal to gravitational acceleration. Okay, so it is equal to mge. Okay, so tell this as the equation number 2. So the second law of motion tells that force is equal to mass times gravitational acceleration. Comparing 1 and 2, here we can comparing 1 and 2, what we will get? M into G is equal to G capital Me into M upon RE square. Okay, so M is getting cancelled. So the value of gravitational acceleration or expression for the gravitational acceleration is Gme upon RE square. So for the body which is lying over the surface of the earth, the gravitational acceleration experience is called Gme upon RE square. Okay, means that the gravitational acceleration is equal to the universal gravitational constant multiplied with the mass of the earth divided by the square of the radius of the earth. So the gravitational acceleration for any celestial body, if you want to write, then gravitational acceleration for any celestial body, for any celestial body can be written as G is equal to universal gravitational constant multiplied with the mass of celestial body divided by radius of celestial body square. Okay, so this is the universal equation of gravitational acceleration over any kind of celestial body in the universe. So this is again a general equation for the gravitational acceleration for any kind of celestial body. It can be any star, it can be any planet. Here this equation is the gravitational acceleration for the surface of the earth, over the surface of the earth, for the body which is lies over the earth. Okay, let us understand the topic and its fourth point, factor affecting the value of gravitational acceleration. Now here I am generally talking about the gravitational acceleration of any celestial body. It can be any planet, it can be any star. This can also be applied to the earth as well. So we know that the equation of gravitational acceleration G can be given as a G multiplied with mass of a celestial body and the square of the radius of the celestial body. Okay, so the equation of G is Gm upon R square. So we know that these M and R can be varied as the celestial body changes. Means if I am replacing Earth by Mars, then you have to put the mass of the Mars and radius of the Mars. If I want to find out the gravitational acceleration of Jupiter, say, then you have to replace m with the mass of the Jupiter and r with the radius of the Jupiter. Similarly, for the Sun, you can also find with the other planets as well. So the gravitational acceleration g depends on two factors. So the value of g, you can see that from equation, is directly proportional to mass. So g is directly proportional to mass of a body. Okay, so whichever celestial body you are considering, if you consider Earth, then g will depend on the mass of the Earth. If you consider the Jupiter, the g is directly proportional to the value of the mass of the Jupiter. Means, okay, so you can see that yes, the mass increases, the value of g is also increases. Okay, so as mass increases, mass of a celestial body increases, or say sometimes decreases. Okay, increases or decreases. Value of g for that body increases or say decreases respectively. Okay, so g is directly proportional to mass of the celestial body. So for example, in general day-to-day life, we have seen that the mass of the Earth is lesser than mass of the say Sun. So if I want to compare the value of gravitational acceleration over the surface of the Earth and over the surface of the Sun, then we can say that gravitational acceleration over the Earth will be less than gravitational acceleration over the surface of the Sun. Okay, so you can see that more the mass, more the gravitational acceleration. The second thing is that the value of g is inversely proportional to the square of the radius of the planet. So g is inversely proportional to square of radius of celestial body. Okay, so in that case, what you can say, lower the radius, larger the value of g, and the larger the radius, lower the value of g. But let me clarify one thing. Sometimes what you will feel or what you will observe in the daily life, that the gravitational acceleration for a smaller body, means for the bodies whose radius is small, is found to be small, because here as the radius decreases, mass is also going to decrease. So here the value of g is not only depending upon m, it is also depend on the value of r also. So as r changes, mass changes. Let me give you the example. You can see that the size of the Earth is much bigger than the size of the Moon. So you cannot say that, sir, radius of the Moon is small. So will the gravitational acceleration over the Moon will be greater than the gravitational acceleration of the Earth? No. As you can see, the mass of the Sun, mass of the Moon is also small compared to the mass of the Earth. Again, due to the combined effect of the mass and the radius, the value of g will be decided. Okay, so here we can see that there are two factors. G is directly proportional to mass and g is inversely proportional to the square of the radius. Now let us understand the value of g and its dependence over the different part of the surface of the Earth. And for that case, let us assume that the size and shape of the Earth. Now as far as I am speaking about the Earth, its mass will be constant. Okay, But you know that in actually it is seen that the earth is flattened at the poles. Means our earth's shape is not a completely spherical. It is orange like. Okay. So the shape of the earth is you can say orange like. Okay. It is flattened at the poles. Okay. So if it is flattened at the poles area here and here. So if I am considering the radius at pole region, okay, and radius at the equator region. Equator region is somewhere here at the exactly midpoint of the sphere. Okay, so at equator region and at the pole region, if I am drawing the radiuses, then radius of Earth at equator and radius of Earth at pole shows the different values. Means that for Earth, what I can say, the radius of Earth at pole is somewhat smaller than radius of Earth L at equator. Okay, and due to which we know that the value of gravitational acceleration depends on inversely square wise to the radius. So what I can say, the gravitational acceleration for Earth over the pole will be greater than the gravitational acceleration of Earth at equator. Okay, so the value of g at equator will be less, whereas the value of g at pole will be somewhat larger than the equator. Now let me tell you the differences in the value of g at pole and g at equator are not up to the very large value. Okay, they are up to the small value. Okay, it is not a big difference, but yes, there is a small difference. So the gravitational acceleration at pole will be larger or bigger than the gravitational acceleration at equator. Okay, another thing is that if you will consider any celestial body, spherical celestial body, then as we move toward center of the celestial body, if we move toward the center of the celestial body, value of g decreases. So value of g decreases as we go from surface to center of celestial body. So again I can apply the same thing for the Earth as well. The value of the gravitational acceleration in the inner region, inside the Earth crust will be lesser than the value of gravitational acceleration over the surface. Okay, so the value of g decreases as we move from surface to the center. Okay, similarly, if we move from surface to some higher altitude at some height, again the value of g will be decreases. Okay, so the value of g decreases as we move from surface to high altitude. Okay, so as we go in upward direction from the surface of the Earth, then in that case the value of g will be increasing. Okay, this we have to believe, this we have to mention. Okay, another thing is that the maximum value of the gravitational acceleration of a body will be at the surface of the celestial body. Okay, so the maximum value of g will be at the surface of celestial body. We can write it here. So the maximum value of g will be at surface of celestial body. So for value of gravitational acceleration for Earth, its value will be maximum over the surface of the earth. If you will dig a big tunnel inside the earth and if you will go inside the tunnel, then the value of gravitational acceleration will be decreasing. Similarly, if you are moving in the upward direction in atmosphere with the help of the rocket, then as you will go upward, the value of g will be decreases, and that's why after some height you will feel weightless. Okay, you will not experience your weight, and this effect it can be explained using these important things. Okay, so let us understand the last point of the topic, that is the calculation of g for the earth. And here we know that the value of the mass of the earth is 6 multiplied by 10 to power 24 kilogram. Value of the radius of the earth is 6.4 10 to power 6 meter, that is around 6400 kilometer, and the universal gravitational constant. If we want to find out what is the value of the gravitational acceleration over the surface of the earth whose radius is re, okay, then let us apply the equation g is equal to g gravitational constant multiplied with the mass of the earth divided by square of the radius of the earth. And let me put all those values: 6.67 10 to power minus 11 multiplied with the mass, that is 6 multiplied with 10 to power 24, okay, divided by the radius square, 6.4 10 to power 6 whole square. Again, now we have to solve this thing, okay, and if you have not seen my previous video on how to solve the numerical based on the universal gravitational law, then you can check out. I will put it in the I button. So the solution of this thing, these numbers will gives you the value of E for earth is 9.8 meter per second square. So the value of gravitational acceleration over the surface of the earth is 9.8 meter per second square. Now, so in today's topic, what we have learned: what is free fall, what is freely falling body, why this free fall is occurring. Okay, we know that it is due to the gravitational pull force of a celestial body. Now body can be earth, it can be Jupiter also. So when you will take a test mass, okay, over the surface of any planet or any star, then the planet or star will exert a pull force, and due to that pull force the free fall is occur. Okay, so another thing is that now in second point we have seen that what is gravitational acceleration. Okay, that is the acceleration produced by the gravitational pull force exerted by the celestial body on any object. Okay, and it is the same as our simple acceleration, but now this acceleration is always toward the center of the celestial body. If we talk about the gravitational acceleration of earth, then it is always directed toward the center of the earth. Another thing is that its unit is meter per second square. It is a vector quantity. We have derived the equation, and the equation reads as a g gravitational acceleration of any body is equal to universal gravitational constant multiplied with the mass of the celestial body. Here generally we talk about the earth, so mass of the earth divided by square of the radius of the celestial body. So it will give you the g is equal to gm upon r square. For the earth, gravitational acceleration ge is equal to g capital Me upon re whole square. There are two factors on which the value of g depends. One is the mass of the celestial body, second one is the radius of the celestial body. And generally in this class we will talk about celestial body as the earth. So gravitational acceleration of earth depends on the two parameters: mass of the earth and the radius of the earth. And in the last we have calculated the value of gravitational acceleration over the surface of the earth, and it is found to be 9.8 meter per second square. So if you like the video, if you like this session, don't forget to hit the like button. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe it, and share this video with your friends. And let us meet in the next video.